Hey, what if we put a mummy in a mech?
I was gonna say, so the story begins 5,000 years ago with a mummy and 3 things he can't remember.
And he's hungry.
Always.
He's under a bridge and, he's dying.
He also has pink hair for some reason.
Mummies have pink hair.
The original mummy didn't have pink hair.
Scientific facts.
Well, to be fair, the translation from the anime universe to the real universe, we saw that in the last one. And by the way, SSSS.Dynazenon, I don't know if it'll show up in there, but it's Gridman. Again.
Yeah, it's Gridman universe.
It's but it's in the real world. It's not
real.
It's not the nonsense that was Quad-S Gridman, because that was some nonsense. Especially when they sent the stabby villain to the real world as a real girl.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
God, I hope that comes back to bite them. I was secretly hoping she would show up.
Yeah? I think you even said something about her. I don't even think you were secretly hoping. I think you said something about you wanted her to show up.
Well, I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, she was the most compelling character. She was also the only character who was technically real.
Well, they're all... Well, Gridman was real.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But Gridman was from a part of... Whatever. Anyway, we're talking about Dynazenon. So... Hungry Mummy gets fed a special dog by,
some guy.
Some guy with blue hair, yellow eyes, who...
Orange eyes.
Yellow orange.
They were orange.
No?
They were super orange.
No, they were very yellow.
Okay, well, you regale them with what happened. I will prove you wrong.
Look. Anyway, we also meet this girl who, somebody's complaining to her. It's like, you keep rejecting boys, but you keep, like, asking boys out and then rejecting and, like, ditching them. You should probably stop doing that. And so...
That looks like an orange to me.
I always look at the bottom because the top is...
Well, his pupils are orange.
But those are the pupils.
That means the eyes are orange.
No. The pupils are whatever. It's the irises that I look at for eye color.
There's orange behind it. Look at it. It's multicolored shit.
Well, yeah, that's what. But I always look at the top as being like shadowed, and the bottom is what's lit up. No. Granted, there's some shit with like what's her face's eyes that are like half blue, half green.
Yeah, there is.
But anyway. It doesn't matter. I only picked up on yellow eyes with him because the one other kaiju user also had yellow eyes, and I was like, he's probably gonna have kaiju powers. But anyway, so we got a girl who asks boys out and then ditches them. We got a guy who reluctantly feeds the mummy. We knew it was the mummy going in. Well, mainly Jacob.
I kept telling you it was the mummy.
It's like, dude, the new Gridman anime is based around the mummy, which is the thing he told me about, where they hacked cyberspace to resurrect a mummy.
Oh man, Gridman 90s is a fucking trip, and I implore you all to watch it.
Oh god.
But anyway,
you should do a poorly explained of Gridman.
I might. I might rewatch
unfortunately,
it for you.
I was going to say, unfortunately, it would probably require you to rewatch it, but I would love to get a summary, because I've only gotten bits and pieces. I've seen the first episode, and I've seen the Mummy episode. What I will say is that, while... Dynazenon is a lot more about the people than it is about the monsters, which is weird, but at the same time, Quad-S Gridman was... a lot more about the monsters, but that's because the whole universe that they were stuck in was basically... It was all created. Everyone was essentially a construct, so the people parts didn't really matter as much as the kaiju nonsense, which all revolved around... You know what? I'll say it. The main character of Quad-S Gridman is Stabby Lady.
I mean, aside from Gridman, she's the only real character. So.
Yeah. Whereas in this takes place in more or less the real world, with real world consequences, and there
were no consequences.
People were dying!
Yeah, nobody...
It was constantly referenced that people were dying.
Nobody cared!
I still don't get that.
Like...
I don't know how the city kept repairing itself.
One of the kaijus just flattened half of like a city block, and nobody's.
I know. It was fucking weird. There was some nonsense going on.
Business as usual. Whatever. Now you're a pancake.
Yeah, but regardless, so we got them, and at some point we get introduced to Anit and his cousin, who skips school. Her neat older cousin is probably mid-20s, if not older. And
doesn't have a job.
Girl constantly... Well, that's
yeah, I know. I know. Explain it to people.
Okay.
Some people don't know what neat means. Some people might think you're saying neat as in he's cool.
He's not. At all. Ever. Even when he gets a suit and slick back hair.
Spoilers.
Whatever. We always spoil shit.
Never on this show.
Yeah, not like we spoiled the entire twist ending of fucking Zombieland Saga, and I regretted it. But, yeah, so we get introduced to this cast of characters, and somewhere, Galma?
Yeah, the mummy?
Galma, mummy man, is like, you saved my life. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
I will repay this debt.
Leave me alone. And he, at some point, bumps into girl. The one girl I mentioned, who constantly ditches guys. And she manages to ask him if they can meet up. For what, I do not know. I think she's constantly trying to call out for help because, spoilers, she lost her sister and it clearly gets to her. And she desperately needs someone to talk to about it. I don't know why it has to be a guy. But it's what she needs, and she won't let herself have it. So, like she always does, she ditches him, and Galma shows up and is like, what are you doing?
Why are you just hanging out here in the rain? That's not what normal people do.
And he's like, supposed to meet someone. And he's like, I'll help! And he's like, please don't! And he finds her. It's like, you're waiting for what's-his-face because you're standing on this bridge staring at him.
I saw you guys this morning.
Oh, right. Together. Yeah, I forgot he ran after them and the main character had to run away. And he's like, what is wrong with you? Rah, 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 rah. And main character, I think, is like, oh, God. And
yeah, he just kind of walks over because Galma's fucking shouting.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, hey. And, Galma goes, there's something wrong with you, isn't there? And she just goes, yeah, there's something wrong with me.
Whoopsie.
And
then a kaiju.
Alright, yeah,
That's
sure.
more or less what happens.
I barely remember, but...
Well, a kaiju pops up, and then Galma's like, well, I can control it. I can't control it. I got this bag of goods, though.
Oh, dude, he pulls out the fucking dragon statue from the episode of Gridman. And he's also wearing the medallion from the same fucking episode. It's nutty. And he holds it up, and it turns into a reference to Gridman.
Wow.
Like, not that the rest of it wasn't also a reference to Gridman, but it turns into a extended version of the Dino Cannon. I don't know that that's what it's called, but whatever.
I think it's the Dino Cannon.
Oh, God.
It might as well be.
It turns into an extended Megazord version of the Dino Cannon from Gridman Mummy episode. Fucking... fuck. But apparently the Dino Cannon goes places, so that's cool and all. But
Anyway, it needs 4 compatible people. So he just picks up the first 4 people it finds.
No, he picks up the first 3 people he finds.
No, he picks up the 4th one too.
There's Galma.
I know.
But
Galma,
the girl it doesn't go into a kaiju. It doesn't go into any part of it.
Does she not?
The little girl doesn't. No.
Yeah, because she's the 5th person. Because she's out there walking with...
No. Hang on. There's Galma, MC...
And girl.
And Neat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because here's what happened.
There's no 5th person.
I'm not saying there's a 5th person. I'm saying the first 4 people he meets.
But it's not the first 4 people he meets. It's the first 3. Because he's one of them.
Well, Galma doesn't know what Dynazenon is.
Fair.
Therefore, he's meeting it.
Oh. But it's not a person. Dynazenon's not a person.
No.
Doesn't...
Dynazenon is grabbing the first 4 people it meets.
I thought you said Galma was...
No!
I thought you said he!
Yeah, and he! Dynazenon
is not a he!
It's a robot!
Whatever.
Anyway,
this was stupid.
It grabs 4 people.
It literally does. It literally grabs the Neat from off the street.
He's like, oh, you're walking down... okay.
Nabbing you!
You look dependable. You and your half-rolled up sweats.
It's a fucking tracksuit. And so they fight a kaiju, and
Galma's all like, look guys, I don't need you, I just need you to be here, but I will take care of this.
Yes.
And then they transform into a dragon. Somewhat.
Do they transform into
the dragon? They transform into the dragon in the first episode.
Okay.
Because then it grabs it grabs the kaiju and then it goes into space.
Oh, yeah.
Flies up.
Mm-hmm. As is the Ultraman way.
And then it does its Rex roar, which is a big fucking flamethrower. Yeah. And, yeah.
And so, at the end of it all, Galma's like, y'all need to learn how to do this shit.
I guess we're the Dynazenon 4 now.
And at that point, we decided I needed to watch...
No, we watched 2 more episodes before we watched the...
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, there was a point where it needed to happen. But, I don't fucking remember.
They do some training stuff. They learn that MC's Dino Soldier can fuse with the Dino Wing.
Oh, yeah.
To make Dino Soldier Wing.
Yeah. God, we forgot to mention, when they break apart, like, when they're done and it shrinks down, because it has to, it turns into toys. And I mean toys. These are the...
Ever own a Power Ranger figure? It was like that.
Oh, no, this is like 2 bootlegs removed Power Ranger figures. They're all fucking stupid.
One guy gets a car.
With hands. And at one point he uses them and it's weird. But yeah,
So, like, yeah, the second episode's a training thing. Like, Galma's like, hey, everybody show up for training, and MC doesn't because he's got a job and he's dependable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he keeps his part-time job to get out of the house.
Probably.
Because his mom is dating... He's got a single mom, and she's dating a guy, and he's just like, man, I don't fucking want it. Like, any kid, it's like, I don't want this fucking... Like, I don't want to be involved with this shit. So yeah, it seems pretty clear that he takes the job to just get out of the house. But yeah, he keeps... As opposed to who you think would skip on everybody, it's MC Man instead of Ditch Girl.
Yeah.
As in ditches people, not lives in a ditch.
No, that's Galma. Galma lives in a ditch.
Yeah, he lives under an underpass, and it's a place.
Okay, now I don't remember what happens.
I know at some point Galma shows up at his house to get him.
Yeah, and he just climbs in the bathtub with him.
Yeah, it's fucking awkward. Is like, well, won't you stay for dinner? No, I've taken too much of your time. Hard cut to dinner. And he's there.
No, it's will you stay the night?
No. He does it the dinner time, too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's like, no, I couldn't possibly impose. I've taken too much of your time. And then immediately cuts to him eating dinner. Your cooking is amazing! And then, would you like to stay the night? And MC's like, oh my god. And he's like, no, I couldn't possibly impose. Hard cut to him in the bedroom snoring. Fucking great. Galma's wonderful. But yeah, so...
Something happens in the mystery third episode of neither one of us remembers it.
Whatever happened, I think it starts to, like... I think it's where he mentions that he wants to meet someone, and...
Yeah, this is where the bad guys show up.
Yeah.
The people who can control kaiju.
Like, too much stuff just started to, like, fall in, like... There was so much stuff, and there were so many things being said that I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, how much of this shit is from the episode? And then you were like, well, let's just fucking watch the episode. And so we watched the Mummy episode, and God, more than you'd think is a reference, but not the Kaiju Eugenicist, which is the dumbest fucking name.
It could be worse. Remember Gridman's friends from the last one? The Neon Genesis high schoolers?
That was... Yeah, I think they were from, like, middle school or something. It was a hard reference to bullshit. But, like, the Kaiju Eugenicist, like, in a really blunt way gets across, like, what they're about. But it's still like, don't use the word eugenicist. That's not okay. That's not PC anymore. It hasn't been since like the 30s.
Well, you know, make a comeback, recover the word. I don't know.
No, it's really bad. Eugenicist is really, really bad.
Well, that's why they're the bad guys, and you're not supposed to sympathize
but like,
with them.
We're talking like
they just want to commit a murder.
No. It's eugenicist. The problem with eugenicist is that it has ties to Nazism.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
That's really, really bad. Of course, Japan doesn't give a fuck. They've never have. Anything Nazi related, they're like, they were okay allies in World War II, and it's like, no, they weren't. But anyway, so a lot of like slice of life shit happens, and
basically we start to delve into their like, Ditch Girl wants to find out what happened to her sister.
Yes, she just died, like fell off a
yeah, there was a word for it. It was like a floodgate kind of deal.
Yeah, something of that nature.
MC, being boring as hell, decides he's just gonna like latch on so he can have something.
Well, he's like, I want to get to know you, so can I come along? And I'll admit, that's like, but she says yes, so if she's okay with it, then...
She's like, yeah, whatever.
She wasn't even like that. She was like, yeah, sure. Like, there was no resentment, which was like, dude, you dodged a bullet. Because that is a weird fucking question to ask somebody. You are getting way too personal with this person's shit. But thankfully for my sanity, it does start to come up where it's like, yeah, he's getting involved with shit with her that she's gonna have a hard time with. And is also the reason why she pushes people away. So of course she pushes him away, and then he gets jealous of stupid shit, and his boss is like, just ask her out already before whatever.
Fun fact about his boss, former friend of the jobless guy.
Friend in big quotation marks.
They hang out.
No,
they hang out in the future.
In the future, but not in the past. In the past, they had like 2 conversations.
She was gonna throw a rock at a window, he saw her, and then...
Well, she did throw the rock.
Oh. And she's like, you can't tell anybody. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I suppose. I'm scared.
Yes.
And then she's like, hey, you want to see something cool? And she shows him a dead body.
I thought that's what it was!
No, it's a bag of money.
Yeah, it's a bag of a lot of money.
And she's like, hey, you want to just run away and go somewhere? And he's just like, I like the idea of running away, so he just does
It
that.
just runs away from her. The idea of running away with her was just too scary.
And then she gets married and moves back, and
Bleaches her hair, and which is weird because the first thing I thought when I saw her is like, you look like a banana. But yeah, him and Banana Lady, they chat.
they get drunk together.
And he's like, is this okay? This doesn't seem okay. And she's like, nah, it's fine. Because as it turns out, she's not romantically interested. At least it really doesn't feel like it.
And then finally the cousin, like, she finds a wad in the first episode.
It looks like a grain, it looks like an enlarged grain of sand.
I was thinking resin.
But, like, it's, like, milky white. That would be fun, because that would be a pull from Quad-S Gridman. Because she makes all of her kaiju.
Yeah, there we go.
But, what's weird is that it starts to grow, and then it turns into, like, a kidney, and then it starts to sprout stems, and then they start to look dragon-like.
And then it just turns into a dragon.
A nice golden dragon. The winged dragon of Ra has appeared, and it's here to shrink your piano.
Or grow your piano, one of the two.
Well, grow it back. And also enlarge your sunglasses.
Yeah, just grow, shrink, whatever.
Sit, lay down, play dead,
Paw.
tail.
Well, you know what I mean.
Close enough. Yeah. We're bouncing all over the place. Mainly because, like, the robot parts of this show are kind of pointless.
Yeah, it's just, hey, we've got a kaiju here. Oh no, you've got a robot there. Let's make them fight.
And the fights are okay. And they always win. Except the one time that they nearly lose. And then a huge Quad-S Gridman reference comes bursting out of nowhere in the form of Grid Knight.
You say huge because he's very tall.
Also because it's a way bigger element to pull from, like, that.
But yeah, no, Grid Knight shows up.
Like,
he's
fucking
grown up and everything.
Yeah, he's basically an adult. He's got a sword, because of course he does. And the girl from the train who explains to Red Hair MC from Quad-S Gridman, she's with him, helping him along. And you know that it's her because everything she's got has the treble clef sign on it. Obviously meaning music, and music being a big part of stuff.
Also, she's got a portable fixed beam.
Well, she had one charge of the fixed beam.
Yeah, well, it was still portable.
It was a weird baton. I don't get it.
Well, no, the baton was the gun for the beam.
I still don't get why it was a baton.
It was in a little capsule.
That part made me think they were making an Ultra 7 reference.
No!
Thank God!
No, they weren't.
Thank God. Because I was like, better not be a kaiju coming out of that. I'm gonna be fucking grumpy.
It was just a new paint job.
Thank God.
Sort of. To fix the old paint job on Dynazenon's leg.
Yes. There was a crack, and it needed fixed. And so they fixed it. Anyway, so really what this all culminates in is everyone's got their problems, and so we decide to solve it in the most forced way possible, the way only Trigger does, where at first the animation dies.
No, it's good.
I mean, I won't lie, I love it.
The animation becomes so much more lively when people just blink out.
Oh, dude. But, like, everyone just, like, weirdly out of proportion and, like, kind of unshaded, not colored well. And I'm just like, I think I literally said, I'm like, God, I wish this show just stayed like this. I'd be here for that. But yeah, everyone blinks out of existence, and they're all being pulled into the red eyes white dragon. It had red eyes. I wanted to make the blue eyes joke, but it literally had red eyes. And
it distorts time and space to make you relive your memories.
Yep. So Ditch Girl goes back to when she was a kid and when her sister was alive. What's his face goes back to when he was told that when his mom was like, I met a guy and you might get to meet him too, and you can tell he's angry. But
and then he turns around and there's Dyna Soldier.
And he grabs it and he's like, Dyna Soldier, you're so cool.
And then his reality shatters.
He literally punches it with Dyna Soldier.
I mean, that's what you do with it.
And because he's like, Dyna Soldier, show me the way. And I'm just like, oh god,
show me the way with your face.
And so he ends up in between realities and he's seeing everyone and he decides to help Ditch Girl first because of course he does. And he beats himself against the basically a TV screen until he's bloody and completely fucked up. And then he screams so hard and punches the screen so hard that a wing from Dyna Wing falls into her lap.
And she's like, oh, this is cool.
And then someone tells him that he should help her. I don't know who does. I don't know if it was a real voice. It was weird. But he finally punches through into her reality. And is like, let's go save your sister. And so they chase after her. And for whatever reason, they've both transformed into their current selves. Because originally, Ditch Girl was her,
her child self.
9-year-old, 10-year-old self. And chase after her to the floodgate. And like, don't jump! And
I wasn't gonna jump.
He's like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna jump. And what's funny is that previous to that, Ditch Girl dropped... She's always constantly had this Ankh puzzle that her sister always had, and she dropped it off that floodgate and, tried to grab it and fell off. And I think that's when she had her first realization that that's probably what happened to her sister. So, yeah, so those two get to just have a conversation.
Yeah, and she uses her Dino Wing phone to call Dyna Soldier phone.
And is like, I need more time. Go save the others.
He's like, gotcha. Okay.
Dyna Soldier out. And they reconcile, and it's a nice moment. And so MC goes to chase after the Neat. And he's run away with her, but as he's bursting through, he lasers the money bag. And he's like, oh god, no! Help me catch the money! And she's like, it probably wasn't even real. And he's like, but what if it is? And she... This is MC's boss, Banana Girl. Before the banana-ing. And she's just smiling and laughing, and that's when he realizes that, this was never gonna be anything. She didn't care. She was always just kind of free-spirited and possibly crazy. And so he comes back.
And then they gotta go save Galma.
And we see Galma 5,000 years ago in the same fucking suits that are clearly, fucking marching band outfits. 5,000 years ago.
Well, yes.
Just let that sink in a country that shall not be named. It's China.
Yeah, 3000 BC China. They had marching band suits.
Yeah. And there was a princess.
And it wasn't so much different than it is now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But there was a princess in a fancy outfit. You never see her face, because who the fuck cares? And then they all get betrayed, and everybody dies. Except that they break on through and they're like, Galma, you can't die. We gotta save the future. And he's like, "You're right."
You're always saving me. Let's go.
And Ditch Girl has her final words with her sister. Solves the Ankh puzzle, which represents, the thing. And
they all join forces to kill the shit out of this Tron blue-eye or red-eyed blue dragon.
Red-eyed white dragon with a giant red rocket on its back. It is very awkward. It is sporting its boner and does not care.
But yeah, they Dynazenon infuses with Gridnight and
we forgot who they called Knight. I don't remember what was his name in Quad S. Auntie is reliving his past with Stab Girl.
Yeah.
But we never see her.
When he gets saved, he's like, I didn't need your help.
Because of course. But yeah, Gridnight combines with Dynazenon and they form what is almost a more superior robot until they drop the dragon cannon on its shoulder and they give it a big fucking purple cape. And I'm just like, God, that's dumb.
Yeah, the Dragon King Kaiser Gridnight.
Not a bad name. I don't mind it. It's Japanese as fuck. But, yeah, and then it kicks the shit out of it. Is that the one that goes fucking Tron speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
He tries to Tron away, and he's just like, what if I use my Night Ring?
And just expand. And it's really funny because the shot shows it traveling, and it goes through it, and it just has a moment of going like, huh. And then half of it just shears off and goes, fuck. And then it all explodes, and it's wonderful. And, yeah, when that's all over, the guy's like, damn it, all the kaiju are dead. I guess we're fucked. And so everyone just has their moment to, like, get... they're all doing the things that they should be doing to grow as people. And, like, young cousin decides she's going to try and go to school. Neat decides he's putting together a resume and he needs a suit and he's going to go apply for jobs. And
MC and Girl go to her sister's grave.
Yeah, and they do all the traditional stuff. Like,
and Galma's like, hey, give me all my pieces back. Give me my toys back.
We don't need them anymore.
Give me my McDonald's Happy Meal toys back.
I bought so many Happy Meals just to collect them all. God, they're Happy Meal toys.
Gridnight, or I guess his human form Knight, is just like, hey, we're gonna need your dragon, thanks.
Yeah, it's a kaiju, and we're kind of done with kaiju here, so yeah, we're gonna go to the Gridman cyberverse, and you'll never see us again. And so, during this time, Galma is hacking up along, and you can see that more of him is turning purple.
More of him is becoming the mummy he truly is.
Yes. And so it finally gets to the point where Ditch Girl and MC are chatting, and Ditch Girl is like, well, without any kaiju and Dynazenon, like, maybe there's really no point in seeing each other anymore. Like, we don't really need to hang out. And MC's like, no, I want to keep seeing you. Because, of course, like, I like you. Will you date me? And she's about to answer when...
Galma gets shot!
Well, once his face shows up and is like, interrupts this whole shit, because of course he does.
I thought he shot first and then asked questions later.
No. He's like, I'm glad I've been watching you guys. Your emotions are so interesting. And then he shoots from his chest somehow, and Galma takes the hit. We also missed the part where Galma beat the shit out of one of the other kaiju.
Yeah, so those guys all separate to go do things.
Yes.
Because, like, oh, there's no kaiju left. Well, I guess life's not worth living. And one of the dudes... He gets into an altercation with a cop.
Because he tries to steal his gun. Decides he's going to go on a killing spree. And... Alright, I'll let you go.
And so his face comes up on the internet. And they're like, oh, he claims to be this. Also claims to be 5,000 years.
5,021 years old claimed.
In parentheses. And it's real good. He gets thrown in jail.
Yep. And so our beam shooty boy, he's revealed, he's like, no, there's one more kaiju. It's inside me. And it's like, that's gross. And so he turns into... He doesn't actually turn into a kaiju, like in the same way that Auntie did. He just is in the kaiju.
Yeah, he pilots the kaiju.
In the same way that the other guys pilot Dynazenon. And, so...
Knight shows up, he's like, yo, give me the toys. I'm gonna go fight him. You guys just chill out
because
here.
Galma's, like, on the ground. He's dying. And, second, which is what she decides to call herself, with the baton, uses another cartridge and is like, it isn't a fixed beam because we use that one. This will just help him not be in pain.
This is my duct tape beam.
Not even.
I'll hold him together.
It's more so the ibuprofen beam. Really.
But yeah, so Grid Knight becomes Kaiser Grid Knight, gets his ass kind of kicked, and then the other kaiju enthusiasts are like, hey,
eat me.
So they all get inside, and now the big kaiju's even stronger.
It's got a big rainbow frill around its neck. It's ready to party.
So all of the Dynazenon parts get scattered, and the respective units find each piece.
Except for Ditch Girl. She has to get picked up by MC.
Is that what happened?
Yes. Because the car nearly fell on Neat Man, who is like, wow, hey, it's just like last time. But, and then whatever. And MC has to leap into a crater to get to his Dinosoldier. And Dinosoldier just comes out of the fucking smog to be like, here, let's do the thing. And
so they refuse into Kaiser Grid Knight.
Yeah, which I'm sitting there like, how is this any stronger?
And it's not. They have a beam clash, and
they fucking lose.
MC's like, wait, I've got an idea.
Yes, because we have to talk about it. There was an episode where there was a goofy fucking painting kaiju, and they all tried to goof around and see if they could not access Flash. That's Gridman.
It's like domination, instance domination,
where they do the Vulcan hand signal and they look through it, and it's toyed with that MC can do it, and then the kaiju's like, it's an abomination, but it somehow grows really big and they have to kill it, and MC has the idea to try it again. Because after he tried it, he got like a flash of something. And he's like, okay. And he does it again, and it works momentarily.
Yeah, until the kaiju looks at him. He's just like, yep, nope, never mind.
No, you
fire the gun!
Well, because he's like... He's like weighing his options. He's like, yeah, it's a living thing, but I gotta save what I care about, because it's literally climbing on top of a building with what's her face. But he does get like a flash of like clear understanding of something, and then he blows it away. So he decides he's gonna do that again.
Yeah, so he detaches his gun form,
and it's just like rigid. It's doing an A pose more or less, but like hands like straight on. It looks goofy as fuck, and he's like, "I'm gonna do it again," and he does it again, and then we watch a pill just.
I thought it was more like a bean.
Whatever. and just drift at the kaiju, and then they recombine, they reseparate and recombine into Dynazenon, and then Gridnight and Goldburn,
the dragon,
who is the gold dragon, they combine, and somehow
they overpower the kaiju.
I think the instance domination thing weakened them or whatever.
Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, they overpower it, then they punch him in the face, he explodes.
Just literally, that is the sequence of events. Punched in face, then explosion. There was some yelling in between. Everyone yelled at their respective kaiju master, and then they all died.
Not the main characters.
No.
They all lived. All the good guys lived.
They're good.
3 months later, except for Galma. Galma kind of died.
Yeah, Galma died, and they dragged Dynazenon into the Cyberverse. And we watch a giant portal open up as no one in the world, and the rest of the world, fucking reacts to a giant purple portal being opened up.
Yeah, the JDF in this one was non-existent.
They never did anything. But yeah. So there's a school festival.
Woo!
And there's some really awkward long scenes. There were a lot of long awkward scenes with MC and Dish Girl like looking at each other, and it was goddamn funny.
It was supposed to be serious.
It was so fucking stupid and so transparently like saving money. But yeah, so they talk, and turns out MC's mom and boyfriend are there. So clearly he's gotten kind of over that. And all the classmates, who were literally named Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, they're like, you gotta go find Minami. We can't fucking find her.
Oh man, you remembered her name.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. 42 minutes and you name drop her. You weren't just gonna keep calling her Ditch Girl? You knew the whole time, didn't you?
I didn't! That was the problem! But then when I remembered the scene, I suddenly remembered he's on Minami duty! I still don't remember the main character's name!
Let's go with Todd.
Oh god. Anyway, MC has to go find Ditch Girl, and Ditch Girl is ditching the entire fucking thing.
Because she has learned nothing.
Yes, and she's like, oh god, I really don't want to do it. And MC's like, god damn it, we've been over this. And he's like, well, and she's like, kind of like cheekily, he's like, well then take me there, and holds out her hand, and MC holds up his hand, and suddenly as a flashback that apparently he did have a conversation with the guy who formed the last kaiju, who had the kaiju in him. And he's like, you have the power to be the best of all of us. And he's like, well, I just want to enjoy the life that I fucking had. I met all these cool people. And,
he's like, I don't understand kaiju. Oh, well, kaiju aren't supposed to be understood.
They're beyond your understanding.
They transcend time and space. And while he's saying this, I'm thinking back to the time that I watched Ultraman. And I'm like, yeah, those dudes in rubber suits, they're really transcending time and space.
Look, in Ultraman universe, they kind of do. But anyway, he's like, I don't get it, and I don't feel like I'm losing my freedom. I'm gaining... I feel like all I'm doing is gaining good things.
# winning.
And he's like, I'll never understand. And then they disappear from the Cyberverse transition shit with all the colored lines. And,
yeah, the Gridverse.
And so he takes her hand, and they go back, and they get into their costume, and the main character is a mummy, because of course he's a mummy, because his best friend was a mummy. And girl turns into like a haunted ghost nurse thing. And they're both showing their scars that they got from
fighting.
Yeah, and they're reminiscent of Galma's scars. And yeah. And
we go to the Cyberverse to see the fact that Dynazenon is in fact not dead.
And Galma basically died inside Dynazenon, so it's implied that Galma might be alive in the Cyberverse. So that's cool.
We won't know until Gridman Universe, I think that's what it's called. Whenever that comes out.
That'll be fun. God, I hope OG Gridman and, like, shitty, not anime versions, but, like, real, like, animated versions of the kids show up that, like, utterly clash with the fucking...
You know, I wonder if they did that with the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Excuse me?
Okay.
That's real?
Yes. So, to follow up with Gridman the Hyper Agent, which is 90s Gridman.
Yes.
There was an American version called the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. That's 4 S's, by the way. They spelled cyber with an S.
Wait. You're telling me that the Quad S in these shows is a reference to the English localization of Gridman?
No, not. It's not a localization. It was an English, like, completely English produced thing. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is a different thing from Gridman.
Okay, but why
yes,
is it related to Gridman?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It just is.
Is it a Saban Power Ranger situation?
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Oh god, this is horrible looking. It's not animated. It's live action.
Okay. I mean, so was Power Rangers.
Oh, I guess it was an adaptation of Gridman the Hyper Agent. Huh. I thought it was an original. Well, it's got more episodes. It's got 53 episodes.
Oh my god, the Quad S is a reference too? I hate it. I hate knowing that. Why did you tell me this? Why did you wait to tell me this?
I don't know. I make bad decisions. Shut up. I'm not watching this. I might watch this.
Oh my god.
If I can find it.
I can't believe Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is a fucking Gridman.
I'm sure I've said that to you.
No! I mean, we've jokingly brought up Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but... Oh my god.
You know, the villain's voiced by Tim Curry.
It's not a bad choice.
He refers to humans as meat things.
Oh, no.
Oh man, I kind of want to watch this now, because now I'm confused. Like, Anyway.
How is it a squad when there's only Gridman?
Oh no, there's multiple characters apparently. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia and...
I can't.
Look, the Gridman was a squad.
Wasn't...
Yeah, there was the guy who designed the
yeah,
dinosaur cannon.
Oh yeah, there
was Lady,
but oh no, I can't.
Okay, well here's the thing: they have a band called Team Samurai
in the show.
In the Superhuman Samurai Squad.
I can't.
The main character is a guitarist.
No, it's Power Rangers all over again.
There's a guy who's a drummer.
No.
And somewhat stereotypical athlete.
Oh my god. Please stop.
There's a keyboard player. Apparently somebody who's the space cadet is the bass player.
Hmm.
And then there's a surfer who joins as somebody's replacement. As the bass player. God, cyberspace is spelled with an S.
Well, if you decide to watch it...
If I can find it, because I'm not paying for this, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's, whoever made it was trying to do a Saban, and Saban doesn't deserve any of our money, so...
I have bad news. They don't call him Gridman, they call him Servo.
Did they at least... What do they call the computer?
I don't know if junk is his thing. God, we're getting way off topic now.
Yeah, but it's still technically related. I can't believe the 4 S's stood for something. God damn it. He's not even a samurai.
No, the samurai is the band.
That's dumb.
But yeah, anyway. So let's throw numbers at this. So I can look up this and see if I can find it later.
Yeah. Plot. It was meandering, to be honest. But
I mean, the overarching plot was.
But I liked it. I liked the human focus. The plot in and of itself, what was the plot? Not necessarily the overarching plot, but all the subplots within, I thought were really good.
They weren't bad.
For what the show is and what it's mimicking, they're way better than anything I've ever seen. It's way better. The character plots were better than Gridman.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, those characters didn't really go anywhere.
And then one of the characters turned out to not even be a character. He was literally like, I am Gridman. It's like, oh my god.
Okay, well...
I'd hit it with a 4.
Yeah, let's hit it with a 4.
Characters. Pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't remember any of their names, but... except for Gamma.
Minami, Gamma, god damn it, I cannot remember the main character's name.
I feel like it started with a Y. I'm looking it up.
Might as well look at the other ones too, because I don't remember them either.
I think red hair cousin girl is like Chisa or something.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yomagi,
cool.
he was main character. Told you it started with a Y.
They would have called it Yomagi in the English dub. Wait, we watched the English dub. Kill me now.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm awesome.
Kiyomi was the neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were good.
I liked them. Give it a 4.
That is fine by me. Animation. I'll admit, animation was fine.
It was a trigger.
And the CG was on point. It was good. And then we got to that one episode and the animation became amazing. Just the choicest garbage line work that I honestly think enhanced the entire show and should have stayed. I wanted more characters to just blink out of existence. It's fucking great.
So let's keep the tradition alive and just give it a 5 because it's a trigger.
I don't feel like it was a trigger 5.
No, I don't know, man. The fights were really good. I think the fights were very well choreographed and all that.
I think the fights where Gridman got involved were amazing.
Yeah, and that was like half of them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because he showed up in like episode 6, 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to them. Because it was like fine, par for the course, and then we got to that one episode and it was just... It was a mixture of like the episode 3 of Gurren Lagann, which is always hilarious to watch because it looks bad, and like the way that they'll like take certain parts and just go nuts with proportions and like the moment when Kamina draws the sword and you're like, it's not stopping, it's still going, that kind of shit. But it's like all over the animation. It's fucking great. Genre strength. I'm willing to hit this with a 4. I feel like this is a really solid, quote unquote. Well, it's not a Sentai show because it's not a group, but what is it? Tokusatsu?
Yeah.
It's a solid Tokusatsu. More of a focus on the people than the powers, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's solid.
I feel like this is a more relatable show than Quadus Gridman.
This was a more relatable show than all the Ultra stuff that I've watched so far.
Fucking sick.
Because nobody here is just like the jack of all trades. They're just normal ass people.
Yeah. Nobody's like... Everybody's got problems, but they're relatable problems. And nobody's just like a master worker. Or a ultra craftsman of kaiju who's willing to stab people. How they let that girl go, I will never understand.
It's because she was real and they weren't.
But they sent her to an even more real place.
Yeah, and the real police will deal with it.
God, it was fucking weird. Anyway, 4 or 5?
Give it a 5. It's, like I said, better than literally any of the other Tokusatsu series I've watched.
Fair enough. Dub,
It was fine. I don't think it added anything.
Yeah, nobody was... Like, Galma was hilarious, but, like... He wasn't, God damn it. Yeah, he wasn't a Kotaro. Even though I felt like they were going for that energy.
Yeah.
He just wasn't quite there. So, yeah, I don't think it needs any points. It didn't give me anything. Special mention.
Huh.
I've got a couple that I want to put down as my ideas. The staring contest scenes.
Okay.
Or the day the animation died episode. Cause that was like, it was really great. Like I absolutely loved watching it just turn kind of into garbage, but it was like competent garbage, and I liked what it was doing because it was stretching and squashing in some really fun ways, and then they went into like an extended dream sequence that all looked fine. And I was very confused on why that needed to be, why the beginning needed to be shit.
Because it was warping time and space.
But I mean, the fight with the kaiju was fucking incredible. Like, that was really cool looking, but it didn't last that long. But, I mean, that might not have meant anything. That might have still cost so much in the budget. They were like, we gotta cut somewhere. But, I'll be honest, I think the animation budget improved the show. for that, like, 5-minute span.
I'm kind of partial to giving it to the staring contest, because the one episode where, like, she's eating like a Slim Jim or whatever. And it's just that for like 30 seconds.
Churro, and there's just nothing happening.
It's like they're just staring at each other, and then occasionally she'll take a bite.
And then at one point she's like, "Oh, there's sugar everywhere." Oh. Oh God. Yeah, no, that scene was so good, and if it had gone on just a little bit longer, it would have been the scene I would have pointed at. But yeah, fuck. Do you want to get that 1 or 2?
Just a 1.
Okay.
Like, it was good, but I don't think it was, like, good.
Alright. That puts us at 19.
Solid.
As compared to... Yep, Quad S Gridman was 17. That makes perfect sense, to be perfectly honest. We fucking gave it to the characters. We gave them a 2. Well, that's gonna come through on the audio.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, no. Quad S Gridman died because of the characters, and holy shit, yeah, the characters in Quad S Gridman are nothing. And this one did a way better job. I think they improved on what they needed to improve on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Before this hits an hour, we'll see you guys later.
Watch it. It's good.
See ya.